So, my name is Veronica, and here's my testimony. Just gonna sit it down. I grew up most of my life with the root of rejection. My parents drank a lot, which often resulted in fights, arguing, shouting, physical abuse, door slamming, things smashed, police visits, and often removed from the home to relatives. My grandmother took us to church. That was the only place we could find peace. When I was 13, she passed away, and we stopped going to church. We had some good times as a family, but my parents' drinking and fighting went on forever. My first experience of rejection started in kindergarten, when the teacher didn't know what to do with me. Most of the time, I sat at the back, coloring, while the rest of the students sat in the front learning the basics. My Sunday school teacher kept putting me back in kindergarten. I felt stupid. I was ignored at school and bullied at home. My siblings would tease me, make fun of me, and even push me around, calling me a retard. I never understood why. The root of rejection tormented me all my life. I felt worthless. I still felt rejection even in church, when people are supposed to love each other. The spirit of rejection almost destroyed me. I developed a fantasy prone personality when I was a child, and it affected me throughout my life. Fantasy prone personality was my escape from pain and trauma that I suffered as a child, going through family violence. When I was 19, I had a bad experience with a neighbor guy who stayed overnight at our place. He put his hand down my shirt while I was half asleep. I went into my room, I locked the door, and put the dresser in front of it. He grabbed a knife and tried to get in, but was unsuccessful, so he left. I was at age 20, some school friends came over to my first apartment while we were drinking, and I was almost murdered by a girl who despised me. These two experiences had a deep root of fear in my heart. Due to my disability, my family never thought that I would be independent, live on my own, manage my money, or even have my own will. I believe that that was the devil's plan to make me a puppet so that God's plans would not be fulfilled in my life. At age 24, I felt lost, angry, depressed, with no purpose. I often started thinking, if I were to die, would I go to hell? On August 29, 2004, I received Jesus as my Lord. I was baptized October 3rd, 2004. Now, for sure, I knew I was headed to heaven. Once I was saved, I was set free from seizures, depression, verbal abuse, bullying, pornography, and later on, as I grew stronger, I was set free from the spirit of fear and rejection. I struggled with a lot of negative thoughts and false beliefs about myself. But as I grew closer to the Lord, I learned who I am in Christ, and one day, He will wipe every tear from our eyes, and that's what I cling to, is God's love for me.